Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the BTS series, SEA Cup #1 action continuing right now. We've got TNC versus Mineski GoDz, an all Pinoy affair. This should be good.
Stuff.
Best
Yeah.
of 3. Loser goes home.
Yeah.
It's our first round of 8 match, first quarterfinal.
It's always fun when you get the derbies, like these inter-country, well, within one country matchups where the teams know each other really well. They've versed each other so many times. And even the players themselves have rivalries going on between them. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it is going to be a lot of fun, and we won't waste any time getting to it. The draft has begun, and we hop into it. TNC versus Mineski. Best of 3. This is a round of 8 match, a quarterfinal. Winner of this guaranteed $1,000 and top 4.
Yeah. All it takes is 2 BO3s. So interesting things from the draft. We see Leshrac slip through. I saw that happening in some other series going on today as well, where as much as this was the kind of top tier 1 hero, teams seem to be willing to give it up if they feel like they can get something decent in exchange. In this case, it's Alina Shaker. I feel like the Shaker is an important pickup because it also is a kind of block pick because Earthshaker with Leshrac is ridiculous. These two combo way too well together.
Yeah, I mean, Lina, one of the few heroes that can actually do very well against Lesh, if not outright beat him in the lane. And whoever has the Shaker, often that'll tip the balance, where maybe you can have like the Queen of Pain versus Shadow Fiend, but if you have the Shaker, then you normally have a good time. One successful gank, we saw it yesterday when Winter and I were casting, and all of a sudden, the Disco Pony ain't dancing so much anymore.
Yeah, you can. If he gets down, it's not a hero who'll just suddenly get back into the game. He's all about the snowball. Yeah, he can kind of catch up with some jungle stacks, which is normally part of the plan as far as the supports go in the early game. But another great pickup. A surprise to see this not banned. Clockwork, great against Leshrac as well. Like, you catch him with a blade mail, he can't really throw spells at you, and it does force out the BKB as well. So you kind of imagine he'd likely go for the BKB regardless, but he needs that item that much quicker. If Clockwork can get a decent timing on blade mail, Leshrac has a lot of problems this game.
And I'm going to show the brackets here real quickly. Didn't show it at the beginning, but I see some people are wondering, guys. Of course, Liquipedia, great place to find all this information as well. But here's our current bracket. So the winner of this match will be top 4, and they'll either play Fnatic or they'll play Signature Trust, whoever wins that best of 3 in the very top there of your screen. So for those of you who are wondering, we'll be showing this as the tournament progresses more and more. But it's a best of 3 matchup here, and Dazzle, GoDz, that's the pickup for TNC.
Okay. Good, just to kind of keep Leshrac alive a little longer, but if he's getting down to that, like, deathly low HP, it's only going to maybe delay the inevitable. So
they're very pretty here. They've got the purples, the pinks, the blues. This is a very very colorful team.
The warm versus the cold tones, although Winter Wyvern kind of went against that.
And then this ugly, bland clock. But he's got a little red flare, I guess.
He's got some warm colors going on.
Okay.
Not too bad, at least.
Wyvern's a traitor. Traitor to all blue-purple kind.
10 seconds.
But yeah, TNC are all about the pastel colors there. But
what's the most pastel of all heroes? The most flamboyant, if you will.
Flamboyant. Invoker.
Invoker?
I don't know. No, not so much in flamboyant.
He can turn on the flamboyance.
Yes, but not by
And he
default.
does kind of prance around, you know. He's got a little, like, extra something in his step. Yeah, I could see that.
Death Prophet?
Yeah, Death Prophet's not bad. She's kind of emo, though.
Yeah.
She's an emo girl. She would be in, like, an indie grunge rock band, I think.
I could see that.
Yeah. Wearing all black to school. You remember those days? Did you have anyone like that?
Yeah, there was always that was like the the emo clique. We had them even in Australia. Well, I went to high school.
Yeah,
in
you
the
went in
US,
Texas.
so
That's right.
We had a.
Not sure
I went to a pretty small school, so our emo clique was like 1 or 2 people, though.
Is emo like is that an accepted thing in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I went to a more open school.
Okay.
We weren't. I wasn't at a.
I was in the belly. I was in the belly of the beast in South Jersey, so everything pretty much flew.
Ember Spirit comes out, so not used as a counter to any kind of PL type hero, but I think something that TNC feel like can have a strong mid game. So if Mineski focus all their efforts towards the Leshrac, come 15-20 minutes in, you've got an Ember Spirit who's got lots of levels, lots of farm, and can make up for the fact that Leshrac may not be snowballing and have the fast blood zone timing he wants. So just a less greedy safe lane farmer. And something much more fight-oriented, which both teams are going to be looking to do a lot this game.
And our stream, it does appear to be offline right now. I am just going to restart it here. So the local recording will be complete, and I do apologize, but it looks like Twitch might be having some issues here, guys. Going to try restarting. Apologies. Twitch didn't accept the ingest. All right, let's try a different server just to be safe here. Go to good old San Jose, California. We will try again. So sorry to those of you in Dota TV who are, well, I would say not getting what you're paid for, but none of you are paying anything because there's no ticket yet, but who are not getting the full cast. But hopefully everything should be fixed on the stream. Let me know if it's not here in chat. When you do hear me, let me know 2 thumbs up if it is fixed. Anti-Mage now banned GoDz, and Mineski will go into a Faceless Void. This was something that Black ran yesterday, and they're the best of 3.
Mineski lost to
it. It was versus Mineski, actually. And a hero, I've been throwing the Void out there as a hero that I'd like to see, but he does take a while to come online. Doesn't really have the natural damage output of a Mana Break, like an Anti-Mage. Not as spammable of a mobility spell, and very squishy. Low strength gain. Backtrack can be hit or miss. Somewhat countered by Silver Edge as well, with it canceling both his bash and his backtrack. Of course, you got a BKB. You don't have to worry about that, but what are your thoughts on the Void here?
They haven't got a huge amount of damage to synergize with him. It's only the Lina, really. And I think you're kind of right where he's a hero with potential, but you look at like the playstyle most teams use, like even going back to TI5, it's all about these aggressive style carry heroes that can fight a lot, and Void doesn't do that. And even as a farming hero, he doesn't farm on the same pace as a PL or an Anti-Mage does. So it feels like he is a little underwhelming, and even that game where Fnatic did end up winning, they were well behind, and it did take kind of some misplays from their opponents, which they did a really good job punishing, but it didn't feel like Void was that powerful of a pick. So I'm a little dubious about the Void, and I feel like heroes like Ember Spirit can just kite around and be very mobile and annoying, similar for like Leshrac, and now a TA even comes out for TNC, so they've got some very powerful stuff.
Yeah, that game also worth mentioning. I believe Mushi was on a Leshrac, so they had a massive damage dealer. I suppose you could argue Lina is a bit as well, but she's more of that single target burst, and she normally gets her nukes out regardless of a Chronosphere being there. So curious to see if the synergy of the Lina Void will match up to the Leshrac Void duo.
So it looks like Leshrac will be going into a support role, and Mineski seemed to know this because they were banning mids with their last ban, so they were kind of expecting the Leshrac to be in a support as well. So Noji going to be picking that up for the TNC side, and it's going to be a last pick TA. Dire side TA, you've got the Roshan there, you've got Ancients you can stack as well, and Mineski's draft, not great for kind of preventing any kind of, well, I mean, you can block it with a ward and just sneak on by, but you can't really contest it going for an early fight, outside of maybe hoping that Trolley with a Chronosphere can make a play happen around the Ancients area, but I feel like this is a very comfortable draft for TNC to just secure a lot of farm on their TA.
All right, and it looks like the stream is back online. No, not yet. It wanted to come online.
About it.
I'm like giving it the voodoo magic here. There you go. Okay, now it's back. Okay. So, do apologize to everybody. It was streaming. It just apparently wasn't catching on Twitch, but it looks like we should have it up now. So, thank you for your patience, everybody, and we get underway. GoDz, best of 3 here. TNC versus Mineski. The unorthodox Void, I think by far the most unusual pick of the draft. And they're going to double TP off the bat just to get these wards down nice and early. This is a big gold investment for Mineski and the Vision.
And they really want to be able to secure their pull here. So by TPing down there, you can scout out a potential TP from the Dire offlane of the Darkseer, which is a very common move. So if Darkseer TP'd level 1, you see him, you can see where he wards, and you get the easy D-ward off. But they don't even have to buy sentries. So you've got Jesse Vash sitting on 180 gold, which, yeah, he can't buy sentries. He'd have to wait 20 seconds, but you'd see where the ward is. You'd get the D-ward off by about a minute into the game after you get the rollover money. So
that's
just kind of a safe move when you want to make sure you have the pull camp available.
Yeah, and maybe you don't have to buy the sentries like you're pointing out, in which case you spend the 100 gold on the TP, but you save it and not buying the sentries.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Can really pay off.
Well, yeah, and yeah, even if Darkseer did TP down there and he sees you and you're preventing him from warding, he's like, okay, well, suddenly I can't actually block your pull because you're zoning me away.
And he goes for like a safer lane ward or something, but then you don't necessarily need to deward him. So, all right, let's introduce the players here. We've got a very new roster for TNC. I'm not recognizing any of their names. I'm not sure if there are any familiar faces here, but we got X-Lucky, an Ember Spirit Raven, the Templar Assassin, AU2000, that's cute on the Dazzle, Noji handling the last track as they 4-man at to Jules. He runs back into every single hero. Jules, what are you doing, buddy? That is not worth the bounty rune whatsoever. Free feed. And he didn't even get it anyway. It ends up going the way of the TA. All right, gods. Well, things get interesting now, and S will be on the Darkseer. As for the Radiant, Ryo, the Earthshaker, Trolly, your Faceless Void, Cuckoo, the Lena, Jesse Vash, the Wyvern, and, well, Mr. Jules. I mean, what was that?
I don't know. You know, I haven't cast Jules in such a long time, and he's one of those players who can dominate and carry a game so hard. He reminds me a lot of QO, where it's like, can snowball and play insane, and then he also can throw really hard. And that was a lot of the latter. That was...
He had so much vision, too. It's not like he got ambushed.
Yeah.
They didn't smoke gank. He, like, sees... He drops the cogs. He sees 4. He could run away after getting the cog back. And then he waits for them to expire, runs in to try and get the rune. Doesn't even get the rune. I mean, yeah.
I don't even think dying to get the rune is worth it in any way whatsoever either. Like, it's not... It doesn't...
Numerically, it's bad. Like, it's just straight up bad in terms of numbers.
It helps out your mid. It's like a... as far as the economy goes, it's maybe a slight disadvantage, but as far as your mid lane goes, it does give Lena a bit of a helping hand, and I guess they are going to put a lot of emphasis on how this mid lane goes, where Lena's already getting harassed very heavily.
Yeah, Cuckoo is having a tough time here off the bat. He's been rather aggressive with his position. It looks like Raven got a lot of early Sideblade connections. 7-1, and Cuckoo constantly being threatened. He's got to sit back here. Bottle does arrive and should equalize things a bit. And good news for Jules, though, gods. He's at least getting some experience here early on, despite being up against the tri-lane.
Yeah.
And they are running the support lash. We didn't really discuss it, but not the core lash that we were probably expecting going into that last pick.
Yeah, it seems some teams just not as comfortable putting it straight smack dab in the mid lane and just hoping that flesh snowballs. So that I think partly because of the Earthshaker Lena duo just being so good at getting kills. Top lane, they've gone in on Jules again, and he may be going down once more.
He's got the stick charges, pops them now, but they still burn him, and Lucky won't let him get out of there. Scorching Jules in the rear on the way out. It's an early kill for a lane that isn't hugely offensive.
Top tower is under attack.
Jules again just getting a bit far. But once the cogs are used, and if Ember Spirit can get the Searing Chains off or get in range for the Flame Guard, Jules just doesn't have the defensive capabilities to get away, so a quick 2-0 start, and both deaths somewhat avoidable for the Clockwork.
In good news, they're farming their Void. Bimbo having his way bottom lane, and Void always a fun carry to play in the safe lane. He's got really high base damage, and if you get a Quelling Blade, you basically should never miss a last hit in a free farm lane, and so far, more or less perfect here for Bimbo, as he's got 19 CS at 3 minutes in.
He's missed one, that means. Despicable.
Rage quit.
LD. Yeah.
Commit seppuku.
Somebody
Or Sudoku.
report this Void.
If you're feeling more dank. That's one of my more enjoyable memes, I think. Well, not mine in the sense that I own it, but that I personally enjoy.
Committing Sudoku.
Committing Sudoku. And it's funny because I think there are some people who don't know that that's wrong, and they don't realize that it's actually seppuku. Because I was casting one time and I said seppuku, and everyone's like, what, "Don't you mean Sudoku?" Like, no, I actually don't. And they weren't trolling either. They were upset that I was getting the meme, or not even the meme, that I was getting the expression wrong.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Not everyone's cultured and has read their Japanese literature growing up, I guess.
It's funny where you'll learn things, you know, like their source of, it's a random word that, you know, I actually took a Japanese history class in high school, or not in college, so that was where I heard it for maybe not the first time, but where it really stuck. And you know, barring that, it's kind of understandable.
It happened to me much earlier. It was like middle school where there was some book we had to read. Ooh, kill bottom lane. But finish the story quickly. There was some book we had to read, which was a Japanese like translated book, and it was like a kid's book, but it had the whole idea of seppuku.
Top lane. Oh, Jules, he's invis. And meanwhile, a wild tri-lane mid appears, gods. There is a dire ward, so looks like they just wanted to help Cuckoo against a potential kill, but
constant harass coming out of him. He's really low and not getting much rune control, not getting the
he is farming. He is CSing at least.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower
Constantly Cuckoo running for his life.
It's kind of forced more support rotations than maybe Mineski would have liked, I guess. Even he's getting the farm, but it's put Earthshaker in the mid lane, put Wyvern there for a little bit.
Meanwhile, you've got the Leshrac stacking Ancients. They've already gotten the kills top.
Yeah. Lena just doing the stacking herself, though. She's got a big neutral stack now that she can go back to, which will help get that decent time on the Yule Scepter.
Looks like Trolley about to hit level 5 here. So, closing in on that first Chronosphere. But it is a very long cooldown nowadays, especially at level 1. Over 2 minutes, so definitely want to make sure that you make it count, get a nice early kill before the real team fights start breaking out.
Yeah, so Cuckoo will give some XP mid to the Earthshaker. Now's the time he wants to start farming up his big stack, he decides. And let's look at him level 7-ish, and he could start looking for a kill with that first Laguna Blade.
Oh, will be the Bloodstone Rush here for Cuckoo, perhaps, GoDz. Getting the early Soul
Wow,
Ring.
that's greedy, very farm focused, and
not even getting like a phase boots first, which just is so good on Lena in general, having that move speed.
Bottom rune, the trap's been laid, and Jesse Vash is there, but he doesn't have the Void, and that means Jesse Vash needs to be in trouble. He needs to get to the high ground fast.
He gets stunned. Can he get off the Cold Embrace in time? Fissure coming through. He wants to flap his way up. Doesn't make it in the end. Lightning prevents the escape as Cuckoo rushes in. Has the Laguna. Oh, no mana for it with the early nuke coming out. If only the Soul Rain were here, but it's in the stash right now. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But now Bimbo is level 6.
And he'll be looking to get a Chronosphere off just probably as early as possible, either for a kill on the offlane Darkseer or a TP mid, trying to set up maybe on the TA where you just go in Chronosphere, break the Refraction, and then Laguna Dragon Slave for a big damage burst.
They go on Jules here, top lane, but not sure they really have the damage. He's going for a 2-1-2 build, so bit of a hybrid so far. Not full battery assault, but there's a couple points there to maybe remove the Flame Guard in these upcoming fights.
And it's easy to look at this game and be like, oh, Jules has made some really questionable plays and kind of throw, but he's ultimately where he stands right now, he's level 6, although about to die.
The Jinx. The Jinx is strong. He does pop the stick, but it'll be another kill for Lucky.
Like, he's in a better position to have an impact on this game than Darkseer. He's level 6. He can now rotate with Hookshot, look for kills for his team. Darkseer, he's just got a jungle farm. He's level 3. He doesn't offer anything to his team. So yes, Clock's 0 and 3 has fed the Ember Spirit a bit, but as far as where Mineski are right now, they can still use his Clockwork to great effect. I mean, you can't say the same for the Darkseer. He's been completely zoned out of XP.
Yeah, he did not have a big stack to go back to here, just a double. Only hitting level 4 now, so you're certainly right about that, GoDz. He's not going to come online very quickly at this rate. Jules with the hook shot available. See if he looks to rotate. Chains are there, but only level 2. He did go for that one value point in Sleight of Fist. Can't really hold him in place for long.
Yeah, Tia gonna start farming the
Oh, look at
stack.
this. This is clever by Jesse Vash. Leeching the experience here.
You don't get the experience
it's
leech
the
from
Ancients,
Ancients.
actually.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
That would be great if he did, but he kind of flew up here to plant the ward to block it, but it had already been stacked very early on, so he's not going to get much out of it. The rotation from Earthshaker is coming, but I don't think these two can stop TA.
Yeah, it's a lot of big creeps here. The dragons, not like you can fissure KS these, so.
And TA is staying healthy enough that...
Oh, maybe Bimbo will come in.
Yeah, that might be the play. Just time walk in, get a Cronus here.
I mean, he can't really kill them, though, is the problem. Not very easily.
Yeah.
Now he can. Gets the Mask of Madness, so might be able to do it.
Noji's here. He's come for the experience. And Jesse Vash is going to fly south, so now they don't actually have Arctic Burn. This is not an Ancient stack they're going to contest. They're going to go push the bottom lane instead.
This is where... This is the power of the TA. Just getting a lot of extra golden experience here for TNC. They are under pressure bottom lane, though, as Bimbo gets more aggressive. Did not go for any sort of greedy build, just straight into the Aquila Mask of Madness, and with this, a lot of early kill potential.
And Lena had more CS than the TA, but now TA actually is ahead on overall net worth by about 300 gold, so that really is some great comeback farm potential, whereas Cuckoo just had his own jungle to farm.
And she could do them really early as well because of the refraction and just the range of the side blades.
And they even de-ward it too, so now they can start stacking once again. So TA doesn't need to really fight right now, and there's no pressure for TNC to take fights. The Darkseers can't really do so, wants just to farm as well. TNC are going to probably play fairly passively, and if they are forced to fight, it's going to be all around the X-Lucky Ember Spirit. He's the one hero in fine condition. Chrono bottom, though. Bimbo's gone in.
Uh-oh, Bimbo
Whoa.
in danger here. The fissure used, but that's a fast pony. Can he get the vision for the lightning storm? Bimbo trying to quelling blade through the trees. He eats the tree. Ooh, close call. No neutrals almost bring him down as well. Time walking out. Might just escape. Another surge. He's going to have to finagle his way in the fog of war, and he can't do it. No G. And the roaming support Leshrac strikes again. That's going to leave a mark, and you see Void very squishy at this stage of the game.
And I know it won't surprise you, but while that was happening, Clockwork did die again in the offlane.
Well, I almost missed both there, so at least you had me covered with the Chronosphere. But Jules down again and did blow the hook shot, so.
Yeah, I don't know what. He shouldn't just keep going top lane. Like, that's one of the things where you're Clockwork, you hit level 6. I was really surprised when he hit level 6 and died. He immediately TP back top on respawn. You've just hit level 6. You've got hookshot available. He does it again. He's just TP back top. And he can't get kills up here on his own. So he's very useless for his team unless there's someone like Lina rotating top, which I think Cuckoo for the most part is better off trying to contest the Dire Ancients, find kills in bottom lane, pressure the mid lane. Lina doesn't really want to have to go to the off lane. It's better that Jules rotates towards mid or the Radiant jungle, because you look where TNC are now. They've got 2 heroes setting up in the Radiant jungle. This is where Clockwork should be. He should be punishing the Dazzle, punishing heroes like the Darkseer, who doesn't have an escape out of the hookshot cogs. Bottom lane. Bimbo goes in.
Is he gonna get the bash follow-up? Oh, he does, but already had decided to back off. Could have maybe committed, but very risky, not knowing what lurks behind, and we'll have to play it safe here. And TNC are prompted to smoke. They throw the Dazzle heal. Looks like they want to get aggressive on this bottom side of the map. Well, once again, Jules being pursued a bit. Lucky already has the completed drums and phase boots out. And Lina with 100 CS, so still keeping up with the TA, actually about 500 gold up now. Just AFK farm Lina, really. Already level 11 at 12 minutes, and God, she doesn't even have a kill or assist yet. This is just purely jungle farm. They're getting a lot, but top lane, the smoke completes, and they will once more finish off Jules. Another death. That's 5 for him in 12 minutes, and perhaps worse is there's no assists here, there's no kills, and there's no tower either. TNC will happily take that too. Yeah, goes the way of the Lesh.
And Lesh as support can also snowball. You're going to be level 6 already. You've got a Bracer, a Wand, now working towards maybe a Yule Scepter. Noji can offer a lot to this team even as a support, and because he's a support, he's not a hero that Mineski are going to want to overcommit on when there's heroes like Ember Spirit and TA causing them problems in the team fight.
Well, looking at the pace of the game, GoDz, it's been rather slow and farm-oriented in general. Although the score 7-1, TNC, I believe that's their first smoke of the game, actually. The rest have just been rotations and TPs. Do you think TNC need to keep on constantly ganking like this? Should they be pressuring, or would you like to see a different tempo from them?
I think it's good right now because there's no Winter's Curse. That's probably one of the big problem spells for them. The mid-game teamfight of Mineski is much stronger. Chronosphere, Winter's Curse, you've got Fissure, you've got Clockwork. So now is the time to take fights, if possible.
They are looking for the backstab, but elsewhere there's a jump in on the mid lane. They're all committed here deep over the ramp, and now the Ember rushes in onto Jesse Fast. The Chrono's out, only finding AU, but it is enough to bring him low. Can they finish him off? No, he gets off the grave. Now Bimbo's going to have to chase this. Lucky almost out of mana. The Leshrac doing good damage from over in the high ground, and they will end up losing the Wyvern here. But it becomes a 2-for-1. It was a very awkward dive there, and no Darkseer. He was off farming the bottom lane, trying to complete this mechanism. He is close now.
And I think that's what Mineski need to do more of, is just use the numbers advantage, because Darkseer is going to be off kind of farming and pushing this bottom lane. They see him down there. Take a 5v4 fight, as they just did.
Look at that. Sub 14-minute Bloodstone. Lina with 113 CS. Like 9 CS a minute. Yeah, some of them jungle creeps, but my God, that is one of the fastest Bloodstones I've ever seen, I think. Especially considering this Lina has 1 kill. That's just
ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, is that the way to play Lina here? Like, if you can get away with it, do you prefer this over like ganking, or do you still think ganking and being more active is better?
I mean, I think you can farm, but I still feel like you go for the Yule Scepter first, typically, because you can do so much with Yule Scepter. The immediate purge on the Flame Guard. You can just find kills while you're farming. You're sitting mid lane spamming out the wave. Someone like Ember Spirit or a support comes, or even a TA, you can just use it for the combo, and getting a slightly slow Bloodstone isn't the biggest deal, but it's working right now. Cuckoo's in a great position. He's got a 13-minute Bloodstone, so it's hard to say it was the wrong build. It's just, it maybe kind of, there's been opportunities for kills which he hasn't gotten because of the Yule Scepter.
Yeah, he is saving quite a bit of gold now. Already up to another 1,400. Let's see if he wants the Yules. He gets the point booster going straight to an Aghanim Scepter. It looks like hookshot comes bottom lane, finds Noji. He can't get off any of his big spells here. Constantly chain stunned by the battery assault. No, the Grave. Maybe this will turn it around. Jesse Bash taking a lot of damage from the Ion Shell. Just kind of runs in and dies there. Didn't get off the Winter's Curse. Now they're all retreating. And meanwhile, mid, the Void pushing in. Bimbo not coming to the fight. Doesn't have the Chrono just yet. No TP, in fact. And seeing this Void with no TP, GoDz, TNC will keep on pushing in.
Yep. They may just go diving as well. Cuckoo's tanky with this build, but just be careful.
There's the initiation from Lucky. Fissure will clip him from the rear, and also, well, the Earthshaker trying to cover his own ass, but he will end up going down. There's your Laguna, not quite enough. The Rocket will secure the kill as Ember tried to retreat out, and still the Void not coming to the fight. Bimbo just straight down the middle lane, now pressuring the tier 2 tower. Glyph already used, and the tower 1 auto attack. Somebody get the damn feint. It's the TA who pokes in with a little side blade. It will take it down as Cuckoo retreats. He's in pretty deep here. Oh, I don't know if that was the play. They're just going to set up for TNC, making it easier for them to get the kill. Tries to save him, Jesse Vash does, but he's going to die a second time, it seems. Caught out in the trees. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It's a double for Raven. And still no Bimbo off farming the enemy woods. That must have been a 2-minute fight bottom lane.
Yeah, he could have walked there. He also had a courier. I saw the courier come out. I was like, oh, he's bringing the courier. He'll have a TP. The tier 1 tower was still up when the courier got to him, but it just brought a Gloves of Haste. And I was just like, if you're going to bring the courier while your bottom lane's being pushed, you should at least put a TP scroll on it and maybe help out. But Mineski are getting a lot of farm. You look at Lina, top of the net worth. Void getting a huge amount of farm there and also getting good damage on the tier 2 mid tower. They are keeping up, at least on their core heroes. Their supports are the ones who are suffering as a result of taking these fights, these losing fights, and also not being able to defend the towers. You've got Winter Wyvern well behind on net worth. Both dire supports are over 3.5k net worth.
The Leshrac is the poorer of the two, surprisingly, and worth almost as much as the Earthshaker and Wyvern combined.
I didn't realize Dazzle had this much farming. It's going to be an easy Roshan. I don't even think they needed to smoke for this.
Yeah, how is it just his involvement in kills here? He's 2-1-4, but Leshrac 4-0-4.
He's got
maybe
more CS, 27 CS.
Yeah, it must be the CS because he's actually less involved in kills overall.
Yeah. I think he got a bit of time in the lane when the
looking
the
to
TA
contest
was
this though.
Ancients.
Fissure comes out, but again, Bimbo very slow to get here. He's still in the mid lane. Not sure they wanted to take the fight anyway, but now they're going to be forced into commitment as the Desolator of Raven finds the first kill. So they get more. Looks like everyone else will retreat. Trolley, Bimbo still sticking around mid.
That was just great decisive play from TNC. That they were doing that while Winter's Curse was on cooldown. When they finished Roshan, there was about 10 seconds left before it was back up, and just smart awareness that even if they come to us right away without Winter's Curse, we can just be grouped up as 5 and not have to worry too much.
When are they going to take that big team fight with the Chrono, with the Curse combo? That's the question. Everyone's alive here. Bimbo off in the enemy woods. He has a TP. They could potentially look to fight this GoDz, but they are fighting into an Aegis, into a mech, into the Grave as well. A lot of strong defensive abilities here. Refraction, also worth mentioning, and they'll let the mid tower fall too. Mineski, just very passive, and it just doesn't feel like they have any confidence in their ability to take fights right now.
It'll get harder for Jesse Vash to get off a good Winter's Curse. Now TA picks up a Blink, so positioning is very difficult, especially when it's daytime and TNC will have great vision of Winter Wyvern. If you try walk in for a curse, good chance
Bimbo, he's being pursued here. There's a Sleight of Fist Chains combo. This may force out the Chronosphere just to get away. Doesn't drop it yet, and now, drops the Chrono, but he doesn't actually catch the Ember Spirit, who does not have chains available. I'll make it out, GoDz, but that's now about 2 minutes with no Chrono. And it's going to be more defensive play, I imagine, here from Mineski.
Yeah, I feel like they should be able to maybe grab a tier 2 tower somewhere on the map at least out of this. For Mineski, it really gives them an edge here. And they don't have to worry about any items coming on either of the Radiant supports. A kind of Blink Dagger maybe to set up for Jesse Vash on the Winter Wyvern, a Blink Dagger for the Earthshaker with the Echo Slam could be great. Lina is almost complete an Ag Scepter, which is a decent pickup. I think Lina just going the kind of the biggest positive and up from this build we see Lina going is just the pure tankiness you get from it, having both Bloodstone and the Ag Scepter.
She almost has her eggs, and she is very farmed.
You'll get up to like 2k HP almost with this. Mushi would do this like after the Yule Scepter when we saw him playing Lina in the mid lane, but he's only been involved in 2 kills so far, 19 minutes in, and Laguna's just one of those spells I feel like you should be able to find more on the map with.
It just doesn't seem like they've really put much emphasis on kills. It's not like they've constantly been smoking or ganking and they just haven't worked out. I mean, this team really just hasn't been aggressive at all. They have 2 smokes in the stash right now, currently available at the shop. Any on the courier? No. So they have used the 1, but I mean, really, it just hasn't been a priority. They've wanted to farm. They've wanted to play the economy game, and they have done it. Like you said, the cores are farming well, but it's a haves and have-not scenarios right now.
Yeah, even looking at how the Clockwork played when he kept TPing back to the offlane after hitting level 6, and that really showed that, yeah, they weren't interested in fighting. They were just happy to split up as much as possible, even if it was at the cost of getting picked off here and there.
Jules in danger. Does get off the cogs. Almost sucked the TA in, but we'll barely make it out. We'll go back to the split push game here, and TNC grouping up as 3 top. It's like they may try to push, knowing that Chrono is down. And at this moment, support Lash picking up his Yule Scepter. We already mentioned the Dazzle with a lot of farm, some cheaper items here, the Medallion as well as the Urn. And Ember goes to diving. He'll find Jesse Vash. Has not really been his game here. Just gets burned down by the Ion Shell, as well as the Flame Guard, even through the Cold Embrace. Jesse Vash now 0-6. Just a tough game to be an Ember Spirit at this point.
Yeah, Iron Shell Ember Spirit. I forgot how scary that can be, the damage out.
Bimbo, they saw him coming towards mid. The stun's off this time, though, and he will back out into the trees. They get Vision here from the trap. Doesn't have the Chrono. Does have the TP out now, but the Leshrac stun will have cooled down, and he knows it. He's waiting, hoping for a Time Walk proc so that he can maybe just get away, but... Or a backtrack proc, I should say, but not going to happen. Bimbo down again. Mineski looking just flat out discombobulated here in game number 1.
Yeah, they're not playing as a team, which I think is very different to how you normally see Mineski play. They've been really good. Even the series they lost against Fnatic over in ESL, they played a solid Dota game. Their early game was very polished. Their rotations were good, but here we're just seeing very little kind of... There's no execution, more than anything. Like they've just... Everyone's just mindlessly going to lanes to farm right now. You had Cuckoo, who's had a good game as far as overall farm goes, but you're not seeing any impact out of him. You've got Bimbo, who was just mindlessly farming and pushing lanes without TP scrolls. Yeah, he didn't die when he was mid lane, but he needed to be he was much needed at a fight at the bottom lane. So you can look at Jules. He's played a pretty awful game as well. This is really Mineski. How did that come from?
A team effort, but the wrong direction.
Yeah.
As Jules gets caught out in the car. So I think you're wrong, guys. I disagree with you. It has been a team effort here. It's not the kind of team effort they're looking for. This is more like it, though. Very nicely placed Chronosphere. We'll get the first kill of the fight, but now the Aegis comes out, and TA considers diving in. Does have the Blink Dagger available. Fissure used to disengage. So they will crack the Aegis. They get the Leshrac support kill. Cost them a Clockwork. They still have the Winter's Curse. He's something they can use to fight here. They will throw it out on Raven now, but he's freshly refracted. Difficult to bring down, especially with the weave going, as well as the Medallion buff. Tons of armor. Yeah. We'll be able to back off.
Not a good hero to try Winter's Curse in general, because even if there's like a hero or two next to a TA's one doing damage. You want to target those heroes.
Oh, this wouldn't have been a terrible trade, but now he's forced to Bloodstone deny. Down to 4 charges. Cuckoo 2-2 at 22 minutes with all that Lina farm. Just not having a huge amount of kill opportunities. And meanwhile, top lane, we're looking at Bimbo getting caught out here. A lot of nuke damage. As Noji lays into him with the Edict. Where's he going to go with the Time Walk? He tries to Time Walk out. No, he decides just to TP. Doesn't even use it. Bimbo just basically tilting here.
They canceled the Time Walk with the Searing Chains.
Yeah, but...
and then he didn't recast it. So he'd like done like a Time Walk and then instant TP. Like he clicked the TP when he thought the Time Walk would have gone off. But
and then I guess shift queued it or something. And
it was just like he preemptively TP'd. Like in his mind, he's like, okay, Time Walk will take half a second to cast, so I'll double click my TP after half a second. But he didn't realize. Well, I mean, he's just like he didn't quite react to the fact his Time Walk got cancelled. So it's one of those mistakes. It's not as bad as it looks, but it's still like most games when you're playing on point, you don't make that mistake.
He does grab his Ogre Club out of the stash now as he dies. So working on the BKB here. At least he'd be able to TP out more safely if he can farm it.
Oh, they saw that one get planted.
Jules is setting up for the Lina on the high ground. Cuckoo in a bit of danger here. Forced to have to keep him alive. TA laying into her. Can't quite finish her off, though. And does have the Aghanim Scepter at least now. This is a big damage item. Let's see if they can hold the high ground here. Jules is smoked. Do they have a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker? No, not yet. He's close, though. Only 200 gold.
Don't they just see that smoke with the ward? Yeah, the dire ward on the high ground sees that, so.
Did they? Oh, now they're dewarding. But
Yeah.
well, they will back off here in the end. TNC content with their pretty sizable map control advantage. They're up 2 towers right now, about 10,000 gold. Bit lacking on the actual ward coverage here, but they do have a couple of TA traps, giving them vision around the map, as well as a remnant over here towards the top side.
Maybe probably wanting a Aegis on their TA as well as TA's next item before they go for high ground. And yeah, BKB online for Raven, so this will help things out a lot. Even X Lucky still hasn't completed Battle Fury and Ember Spirit. Not that it's by any means a bad timing. He's had a good game. He's been involved in a lot more kills and hasn't been spending as much time farming, so.
It does feel like it may be a 2v5 game. With just looking at the farm distribution here, you've got all 3 Mineski heroes who are not a 1 or a 2 position at the bottom of the farm chart. Some of that due to tower gold, but yeah, it's feeling like this is going to have to be very much the bimbo cuckoo show.
They did make it up to a Blink Dagger and Earthshaker, so that's going to help out a bit with this high ground defense.
Yeah, I guess that's the good news. Your Wyvern, Earthshaker, very farm independent once they get the blink.
Yeah, Wyvern would like an item, either a Glimmer or a Blink, but you don't need to be like a 6 to 10k net worth support at 40, 50 minutes. All you need is maybe 1 item.
5 now. They smoke mid, but they don't include Jules on this. He's going to walk towards the bottom lane. Noji posting up. I mean, this is a support Leshrac just running past creep waves and getting right up in their face. Will they fight this at this tower? There's no glyph available. If they want to go, they got to do it now. Fissure comes out, and the smoke again wasted. Mineski blowing a lot of these. They do have a few heroes still in Viz, but they've shown enough that TNC know.
And it's really hard for Jesse, for Bimbo to fight right now in the Void. If he goes in, whoever he doesn't catch, if they can throw spells at him, he's so squishy in the Mask of Madness inside of Chronosphere. So if he's near the edge and TA can hit him, if Leshrac's outside, that's a big problem, because Lightning Storms will do like a third of his HP with 1 Lightning Storm, it feels like, when he's in Mask of Madness. So it's very, very, very tricky for Bimbo just to go in with the Chronosphere. He needs a BKB ASAP.
Yeah, so it's 260. You reduce that by 25%. It's like what, 180, but then you increase that by 30%. So yeah, it's a lot of his HP. And if he's on the Entreds, it's like at least a 5th. And that's just 1 Leshrac nuke. I mean, there's a lot of other damage here. The Battle Fury's out now. The TA alone, I mean, 1 good Meld Strike is practically the Void's life.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
TA is a big problem. They're going for the high ground pre-Aegis, and I kind of don't blame them. They're in such a strong position right now.
Let's see, buybacks. How many do they have available here? Looking at the Dire side right now, they've got 2 hookshot, not going to connect for Jules, and just will drop the cogs instead as Jesse Vash nearly gets finished off. Bimbo, the story of this game just hasn't been in the fights, but that's okay. Cuckoo finally has his level 3 Laguna, gets a freebie kill.
I was just keep waiting for Noji to die. He's like so... he's so far forward with his position.
Earlier, he's just like pacing back and forth here by himself, like screening the enemy team.
It's what you expect from a Leshrac when it's a mid-core Leshrac with... If he's the one with 15k net worth, he's got 6k net worth, so...
I mean, it does make you wonder, though, like... How is it that Cuckoo hasn't been able to do that more often this game? He's 3-2-1. The Leshrac is basically just a one-shot from like 3/4 HP. It's a sign of how passive Mineski have been.
And now a fast Roshan respawn will come to TNC, and they scout it out immediately. They've got the trap in there already, so I don't imagine they'll waste much time going for this and working their way towards the Radiant base for another high ground siege.
Raven doing a bit of ancient farming here, and Roshan has respawn gods. So let's see, do Mineski contest this? It seems they want to.
Yeah,
they don't have the Void BKB yet, though. He's missing the recipe here, and he's way out in front. Team is moving in behind him. They're going to rotate past the pit, up the mid ramp. Mineski getting super aggressive.
Are they going to
camp
the Dire
squad
Spirit?
may scout this out.
They saw the Ember's Fire Spirit at mid, but I don't think they're going for it. They can't go for Roach. The trap's there, and that will scout
they're
them
in the pit now. Dire team sees the little courier, the little
they're
doodad.
going for Roach.
And they're trying for... Oh, God. Oh, God, Mineski.
This ends poorly.
This looks so terrible right now. TA jumping. It gets off the BKB. Void now immediately retreating out. This will at least cost them Ryo. BKB from the TA. Elsewhere, Jesse Vash up on the high ground. Well, actually,
Didn't so
it's
poorly.
down in the Ancients, but they're not done just yet. Leshrac still hunting, finds the 2-row stun. There's TA from the rear, the back, as well as the side blades. Massive damage. Bloodstone deny, and this is more the massacre that we expected. 3 now down. Jules with the TP out. Chain's going to cancel that. Jesse Vash still hiding up on the high ground once more. It is 4 down. 1 a Bloodstone deny.
He went from the high ground above Ro8 to the high ground below Ro8. That was his...
Okay, here's what's going to happen. He's going to Arctic Burn down into the pit, steal the Aegis, get the last hit.
Oh, he's going to
And
Winter's
die
Curse
first.
and kill the Dazzle. Surely that's the play.
And then steal the Aegis. I like it.
That's a free kill.
He doesn't see.
Free kill on Dazzle.
He doesn't see, though. He
No.
has no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows they're roaching, but he doesn't know if they're low.
It's not really... There's not much to be gained. You kill the Dazzle, you die. It's such a small gain. And it puts Winter's Curse on cooldown, so that's a almost 2-minute cooldown where your opponents have an Aegis TA, and they probably get racks off that. So it's he made the smart play. as much as when you're behind this much, you want to go for whatever kills you can get. And if it's a pub, most players probably just say, let's go for it. Jesse Vash, a very stable player. That's why he used to play offlane for this team, and he played so solid. I'm surprised to see him over in the support role, but he is kind of more the strategic rather than the mechanical player for this team.
Well, Bimbo mid lane, trying to finish that BKB up to Leshrac's done again this time. Noji hasn't really been too much on the ball with that, but Time Walk's cooling down, and he doesn't even matter. He'll still immolate.
Oh, no buyback, too.
No buyback on Bimbo. No BKB on Bimbo. Probably feeling a little Bobo right about now, and TNC just pressing up in the mid lane, looking for the initiation on Jules here. Lightning, Lesh stun, dropping him lower. Still have the Blink Echo available, but not seeing the Void buyback now. This really starts to make you think he might not have it at all. As Cuckoo sets up, does get the fissure on Noji. Can almost kill him off the bat with the Laguna Blade. It's nearly all his HP. Oh, the Grave. Well played. Good anticipation by AU 2000. And now they're being forced back. Chasing and just laying into Jesse Vash. They'll lose Cuckoo as well. Jesse Vash likely to be next. Down he goes. The Wrath of Raven knows no bounds. And this leaves the racks exposed. Looks like 1 lane down for sure, GoDz. Possibly 2. Possibly. The whole kit and caboodle and into game 2.
I think they just happily swing towards the mid lane at this point. Well, Jules finishing where he started.
By the way, looking at the build here for Bimbo, he takes the 1 value point and backtrack, and it scales pretty well. I mean, backtrack scales very well.
I've never seen that before.
And then goes stats.
He wants to fight his own illusions in the wall now.
I'm not. I don't think this is the build.
It feels like Mineski just on like tilt or something.
Now let's
from
remember
the very
they
start
showed
of
up
this game.
very late to the game. Yeah. They got penalized in the draft. I mean, I don't think the draft was terrible or anything, but maybe they didn't really have a chance to collect themselves. They definitely seem out of it. That's for damn sure.
They did. I mean, they suffered such a brutal loss yesterday to Fnatic because the game 1 especially, they really should have won. They were ahead by a big margin. They probably think they're beating one of the kind of SEA powerhouses, and maybe that really affected them mentally because the Mineski we're seeing today is just a completely different team that is not playing their best Dota.
Good teams and great teams, they keep their mentality together in the long run. So we'll see if Mineski can bounce back. But right now, they definitely appear not to be bringing their A game. TNC, look for the second lane of Brax. We'll get the melee here as well. And Raven just goes in, forcing Bimbo back right away. That's lucky. Diving towers. This is just all perfunctory at this point. TNC just kind of styling on Mineski here. Another Slate of Fist. Another easy kill. I mean, it's over, GoDz. Mineski is in shambles.
Yeah, if TNC have to, they can fall back and spend all this money they just got from killing 4 racks, but it doesn't look like they'll need to.
One last fight. Bimbo is BKB. Maybe he can get AU. Will he kill him off in time? The medallion doing work. The Grave comes out. No such luck. Nothing easy here for Mineski whatsoever. TA BKBs as well, and Bimbo now getting trapped out a bit by the chains. He will lead forward onto S. The Laguna secures 1 kill. Could this be the start of a miraculous turnaround? Only a Darkseer for now. Chrono on cooldown for 90 seconds. Clock hooking, but Ember gets thrown up in the air into a stun. Follow-up. They can chain him down here, perhaps. No, the Grave! The Grave. Beautifully played by AU 2000, and now Raven comes back in, looks for Jesse Vash. We'll get him there as well. Up to the high ground, jumping is Bimbo. AU has a Grave soon. The medallion also available. Pops the stick charges, survives for now. Bimbo down again. Rejoining the fight is a buying backing Lucky. even through the echo. They'll keep on pushing forward. It's up to Cuckoo now. The Laguna still cooling down. Thrown up in the air. Not even going to get the kill. X-Lucky surviving. And Cuckoo, the stun not good enough. Down again. Mineski massacred time and again in the shadow of their own base. A triple buyback now forced out. It's getting a little clowny here, guys. Another Laguna, but blocked by the Grave. Again, the plays from AU2000. Just sensational stuff here from your Dazzle. Raven finally will fall, ending a godlike streak that he's had all freaking game.
And he doesn't get the full money for that one, unfortunately. That 1,600 gold for ending his streak, no. It's the buyback penalty, so he is not even getting that much out of these kills. He'll get one more maybe on the Dazzle. Doesn't have Laguna Blade, but Cuckoo indeed.
The Grave again, and they just keep on committing for this. Laguna not available, as you mentioned. Curse also on cooldown, and Lucky may be able to go back in and get both of these. Here's the heal comes out. All of a sudden, Cuckoo's on the run. Another Bloodstone deny. Really does commit seppuku here. The shame for Mineski, and finally, they will tap out.
That was a clowny fight. Noji actually used Bloodstone Suicide while he was graved, which was a bit unfortunate. But TNC just outplay, out-execute Mineski here.
That was not the Mineski we saw scarcely 2 days ago. This was a totally different team, and not in a good way, GoDz.
We know what they're capable of. They can play a lot better. They can pull themselves back, but maybe today is just an off day for them. But hopefully it's just a single off game, because, yeah, that was very uncharacteristic of Mineski as a team and even a lot of their players as individuals and some of the stuff they did.
Well, with that, we do know one thing. After the series is over, GoDz, we're playing O-Lots for somebody. It's been a while. Hopefully it doesn't get picked up by Twitch and mute the VOD. But I think it's been too long. It's been like a year since I've gotten the pleasure of playing it. So regardless of who wins, we'll have some musical accompaniment for the results. But let's see if Mineski can bounce back here at Game 2. Let's see if they have something a little more solid prepared, if they're on the same page, or will the tilt continue? You'll just have to stick around to find out. Folks, you're watching the BTS series. We'll be back.